L. Academy, Philippine Army, Philippines Exercise Director, and Major General Eric E. Austin, United States Marine Corps, representing the United States Exercise Director.
Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthems of the Republic of the Philippines and the United States of America, to be followed by an invocation to be led by Colonel Daniel D. Tanzip Chaplain. Invocation to be led by Colonel Daniel D. Tanzip Chaplain Service, the Acting Chief Chaplain Service, Armed Forces of the Philippines.
Ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
As it fitfully blows, half conceals, half discloses. Now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam. In full glory reflected, now shines on the stream. 'Tis the star-spangled banner, oh, long may it wave, o'er the land of the free.
Sovereign nations, offer your praise and thanksgiving. For this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. As written in Psalm 118, verse 24. Let us pray. Almighty God, the gracious provider, we call upon your name from the pure aspiration of our hearts to bless and sanctify this sublime 38th iteration of exercise Balikatan between the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the United States Indo-Pacific Command of the United States Armed Forces. Just as you bestow the authority to the government of every nation to promote partnership of sovereign equals, we beseech you to envelope with your divine mantle this particular alliance of our nations and allies for greater bilateral security cooperation in the ASEAN region. Pour forth your divine guidance over the line of efforts in this exercise. Let your divine providence strengthen its smarter interoperability and enhance appropriate protocols and procedures for better collaboration. Let your perpetual succor be upon the key leaders to find those avenues for the widest training opportunities to master the art of jointness for security threats and humanitarian support. Empower them with your divine truth and justice as they all uphold and defend the shared principles and democratic values that bind our nations.
United States Exercise Director, Representative Major General Austin, United States Marine Corps.
Well, good morning. It's great to be here with you today. I am Major General Eric Austin, the Commanding General of the 1st Marine Aircraft Wing, and on behalf of Marine Forces Pacific Commanding General, Lieutenant General Bill Journey, and the 3rd Marine Division Commanding General, Major General Jay Bargeron, welcome to the opening ceremonies of BALIKATAN 23. I'm honored to experience, to support, to celebrate the long-standing friendship, partnership, and alliance between the Republic of the Philippines and the United States. Our nations and our military forces share an unbreakable bond built through decades of working shoulder to shoulder, promoting peace and stability. In this, the 38th iteration of BALIKATAN, Philippine and U.S. forces are coming together in large numbers, approximately 17,600 participants in total, demonstrating our commitment to each other and to our mutual defense treaty. Through this exercise, the Philippine and U.S. forces will sharpen our interoperability, increase our proficiency, and complement our capabilities through collaboration, ensuring we are prepared to respond to real-world challenges together. This year's exercise is focused across a broad array of activities: coastal and air defenses, maritime security and maritime domain awareness, amphibious operations, live fire training, aviation operations, cyber defense, urban operations, counterterrorism, and humanitarian and disaster relief. Additionally, construction projects are already underway with Philippine and U.S. forces building and renovating multiple community health centers. Many of the participants in this year's exercise have trained together in the past and will enjoy opportunity to reconnect with their brothers and sisters in arms. These relationships reflect the strength of our alliance. BALIKATAN is an important opportunity to train shoulder to shoulder and build trust and confidence that enables our forces to respond to crisis and contingencies as a team. While this ceremony signifies the beginning of BALIKATAN, trust me, Philippine and U.S. forces have spent months working hard, planning and preparing for what is sure to be an extraordinary exercise. I would like to recognize and thank our gracious Philippine hosts for your hospitality and your commitment to supporting this exercise and your commitment to supporting our alliance. Shoulder to shoulder, we will always prevail. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay.
Thank you, sir. The Philippines Exercise Director, Major General Marvin L. Lucadini, Philippine Army, will now deliver his remarks and subsequently recommend for the opening of BALIKATAN 38-2023.
Welcome everyone for your participation on the Philippine-US exercise BALIKATAN 38-2023. May I have the privilege to acknowledge the presence of our distinguished guest this morning. To our guest of honor and speaker, and the United States Ambassador, Her Excellency Mary Kay Loss Carlson, who is duly represented by the Charge d'Affaires Heather Barriaba of the United States Embassy to the Philippines. Ma'am. The Senior Youth Undersecretary Carlito G. Galvez Jr., the OIC DND, represented by Yusek Angelito De Leon of the Department of National Defense. We have our Chief of Staff, General Andres C. Centino, Philippine Army. Sir. Morning. Of course, my counterpart, Major General Eric Austin. Sir. Exercise, Brigadier General Noel Beleran, up front. Secretary Enrique A. Manalo, represented by ASEC Gunter Emil M. Sales. Secretary Eduardo M. Año, the National Security Advisor, duly represented by the Deputy Director General Nestor C. Jerico, sir. Undersecretary Pedro Cesar C. Rambuanga, Jr., the Executive Director of the Presidential Commission on the Business Forces Agreement Commission. Sir. We have here the representative of the Philippine National Police, Lieutenant General Rodel Sermonia. Coast Guard Admiral Artemio M. Abu, duly represented by Coast Guard Captain Roderick V. Denila. To my counterpart, the U.S. Exercise Director, Lieutenant General William M. Journey, U.S. Marine Corps, and ably represented, of course, by Major General Eric E. Austin, the Commanding General of the 1st Marine Aircraft Wing. We have here Major General Michael L. Brooks, the Assistant Division Commander of the 3rd Marine Division. Brigadier General Adam L. Chockley, the Commanding General of the 3rd Marine Logistics Group. Brigadier General Jeffrey Van Antwerp, U.S. Army Deputy Commander of the 25th Infantry Division. We have here Colonel Edward Evans, Philippine U.S. Army, the Chief Joint U.S. Military Assistance Group of the Philippines. Colonel Paul Barta, the Defense Attaché of Australia. The Joint Staff, headed by Lieutenant General Charlton Cian M. Gerlan. Sir, the Joint Staff of the Philippine Army of the JHQ, can you stand up to be recognized? The Joint Staff from the JHQ. Here they are. Good morning. Thank you. The Lieutenant General Romeo S. Browner, the Commanding General, Philippine Army. Lieutenant General Stephen Pareño, the Commanding General, Philippine Air Force. Vice Admiral Toribio D. Adasi, the Flag Officer in Command, Philippine Navy, represented by Brigadier General Edwin Amadara, also the Commander, Fleet Marine Ready Force. Lieutenant General Benedict Arevalo, Commander, Visayas Command. Vice Admiral Alberto B. Carlos, the Commander, Western Command, sir. Lieutenant General Fernil Buca, the Commander, Northern Luzon Command. I saw there the TIG of the AFP, Lieutenant General William Gonzales, sir. Major General Arturo G. Rojas, the Commander, Special Operation Command. Major General Agustin S. Malinit, the Commander, Air Defense Command, Philippine Air Force, represented by Colonel Fernando Ventura. Commodore Alphonse Pintumanda, the Commander, Naval Installation Command. Colonel Daniel D. Tansip, our Chief Chaplain. To all exercise, Balikatan, AFP, and U.S. Indo-Pacific Command participants, other officers, enlisted personnel, civilian human resource, and guests present. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the opening ceremony of the Philippines-United States Exercise Balikatan 2023. The Balikatan 2023 is the 38th and largest ever iteration of this exercise, with roughly about 17,700 troops from the AFP, U.S. forces, and Australian Defense Forces. It builds interoperability, enhances capabilities, and demonstrates mutual defense of the Philippine sovereign territory, and promote peace and security in the region. The Balikatan will commence today and will culminate on 28 April 2023 at different locations in the Philippines, mostly in Northern Luzon Command, Western Command, and Visayas Command, Joint Operation Area. Thus, 4 major events, namely the Command Post Exercise, Cyber Defense Exercise, Field Training Exercise, and lastly, Humanitarian Civic Assistance. The highlight of the exercise will be the combined joint littoral live fire exercise, which aims to rehearse joint and combined tactics, techniques, and procedures to execute a maritime strike. Moreover, these events are anchored to the theme Maritime and Coastal Defense, with exercise objectives to enhance the AP capabilities for external defense operations and maritime security awareness in congruence with the Mutual Defense Board and Security Engagement Board lines of efforts. To define command and control functions and strengthen interagency collaboration to test the employment concept of newly acquired capabilities under the AP Modernization Program, to project a credible defense posture and enhance AFP capabilities for cyber defense operations, to include AFP communications, electronics, information systems, infrastructure, and processes. The annual conduct of Balikatan is always a learning opportunity for both Philippines and the United States military forces, emphasizing on skills, enhancement, doctrine exchange that would certainly contribute to the combat readiness and combat capability of the armed forces of the Philippines. In behalf of the Philippines Exercise Directorate, I look forward on having a productive and progressive Balikatan execution for all of us. With this, I recommend for the Philippines-United States Exercise Balikatan 38, 2023 to be open. Magandang umaga at mabuhay tayong lahat.
Thank you, sir.
The Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, General, his remarks and subsequently declare the opening of the Philippines-United States Exercise Balikatan 38-23.
To the Charge d'Affaires, Head of Variaba of the U.S. Embassy in Manila, fellow soldiers, guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to everyone. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. My greetings of friendship and solidarity to all of you. The annual Philippines-United States Balikatan exercise is one of the long-standing activities between our two countries that has paved the way for an enhanced defense cooperation, military-to-military collaboration, and mutual commitments, which are all aimed at promoting our shared goals of a more secure global community. The strides that have been made in the last year's exercise reflects our determination and commitment as we were able to enforce full implementation of our Balikatan exercise after 2 years of non-conduct of this important activity due to the pandemic. Given the success and lessons from the 2022 Balikatan exercise, there were enough reasons to put a framework together for this year's exercise that would build on all that had been previously achieved. For the armed forces of the Philippines in particular, this year's Balikatan exercise is most timely as we fast-track the enhancement of our capabilities for maritime security and domain awareness, as well as our employment concept of newly acquired equipment and weapon systems under our modernization program and application of newly developed doctrines with the end in view of projecting a credible defense posture. These key points and the opportunity to hone other competencies such as cyber defense operations, optimized utilization of the AAP joint training areas under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, as well as strengthened interagency collaboration are part of the exercise goals that we believe will make for a dynamic and relevant iteration of our Balikatan exercise. What makes it more noteworthy is that this year's event, the 38th Philippine-US Balikatan iteration, will have a total of 17,680 participants, making this exercise the largest ever of the AAP and the US Armed Forces, as well as our counterparts from the Australian Defence Force. We have also taken the initiative to expand this year's exercise by inviting military observers from our partners in the region and other nations under the International Observers Program. And we believe that the Balikatan exercise is also an opportunity to deepen our collaborations that would enable appropriate and timely actions whenever and wherever needed. On this note, let me also welcome our exercise observers from our ASEAN neighbors, our friends, our allies, and partners. Your presence today makes this event a collaboration that goes beyond borders. The Philippine-US Balikatan 2023 is indeed another defining moment, as the magnitude of this year's exercise is a testament to the deepening alliance between and among our countries. Among the major events planned for this year's exercise include the Command Post exercise, Cyber Defense exercise, Field Training exercise, and lastly, Humanitarian Civic Assistance. All these major events are intended to ensure the achievement of the end state of our Balikatan 2023 exercises, which is to further develop mutual defense capability, to enhance cyber defense operations, and strengthen the country's maritime security and domain awareness, among others. Yesterday, we commemorated a defining part of our history, the Araw ng Kagitingan, or the Day of Valor, in Mount Samat in Pilar, Bataan, where I and the Charge Affairs attended. We commemorated the heroism of those who fought in Bataan 81 years ago. While that battle in that fateful day led to the fall of Bataan, the heroic event showcased the valor and patriotism of both the Filipino and American soldiers who fought side by side to defend our motherland. The heroic event from 81 years ago should serve as a reminder and inspiration to all of us. Hence, today embodies our fervor to continue working on the enhancement of our training side by side and shoulder to defend our country. Indeed, there are no better words than shoulder to describe how we stood together over the years, strong and unwavering, to address our vulnerabilities and ensure that both our armed forces are primed to promptly and effectively respond to any situation, crisis, or emergency under all circumstances. As the collaboration and partnerships grow in strength and reach, we not only amplify and upgrade the interoperability of our armed forces for mutual defense, humanitarian assistance, and disaster response, but just as importantly, contribute to the peace and stability of the Indo-Pacific region in a definitive manner. In closing, I urge all the participants joining in this year's exercise to embody professionalism, excellence, and camaraderie as we maximize the opportunities offered to us in all these events. Likewise, we should also take advantage of the opportunities from this exercise to learn from each other, develop friendship, foster stronger teamwork and cohesion, and improve our competencies. I am confident that both our armed forces shall reap invaluable benefits from this Balikatan exercise as we continue to pursue our shared goals of regional peace, security, and stability. And so, by the authority vested in me as the Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, I now formally declare the Philippines United States Exercise Balikatan 38-2023 open. Mabuhay ang Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas, mabuhay ang United States Indo-Pacific Command. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, sir.
We shall now witness the unfurling of the Balikatan flag. The exercise directors are requested for the unfurling of the Balikatan flag. May we request everyone to please stand for the unfurling of the Balikatan flag. A big round of applause, please. May we request the principals on stage for the picture taking with the Balikatan flag.
We shall now proceed with the patching of Balikatan 38-2023 patch. Please place the patches at the left side of your arm. Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated.
Let us now hear the message of the Honorable Heather R. Briava, chargé d'affaires at the United States Embassy in the Philippines.
So I think you may find that my speechwriter and General Centino's speechwriter collaborated. Thank you, General Centino, Undersecretary De Leon, distinguished guests. It is my honor to be here for the opening of BALIKATAN 2023, the 38th iteration of our largest military exercise with our oldest treaty ally in East Asia, the Republic of the Philippines. The United States and the Philippines have been treaty allies for over 7 decades. Our Mutual Defense Treaty, or MDT, along with the Visiting Forces Agreement and the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, have facilitated years, if not decades, of close coordination between our two militaries. This 38th iteration of BALIKATAN is the latest evolution of that cooperation, including participation not just from the United States and the Philippines, but also Australia, and numerous additional partners and allies here as observers. This year's BALIKATAN will be the biggest ever, an indication of the growth of our alliance and how it continues to evolve to meet our shared goals. BALIKATAN is the marquee annual event for our alliance, and I'm thrilled to be here this morning to mark the opening of this important exercise with you. Our alliance spans beyond the exercise that will start today. In fact, it extends well beyond security. Later today, as our military forces get some rest after their first day of exercising together, Secretary of State Blinken and Secretary of Defense Austin will meet their Philippine counterparts, Secretary Manalo and Secretary Galvez, in Washington, D.C., for our first Defense and Foreign Affairs 2+2 ministerial meeting in over 7 years. In Washington, our respective leaders will discuss not just our security alliance, but also other central tenets of our bilateral relationship, including the significant economic partnerships that bring prosperity to both of our nations, and the shared history and cultural ties that connect us as friends. The fact that the opening of BALIKATAN and our 2+2 dialogue are happening on the same day, thousands of miles apart, speaks to the strength and significance of the U.S.-Philippine relationship as friends, partners, and allies. I'd like to take a moment to thank the members of our military, American and Filipino, for your service and for your commitment to protecting our countries. As General Centino mentioned yesterday, he and I, and many of those of you here today, joined President Marcos to mark the Day of Valor, which is the anniversary of the beginning of the Bataan Death March, which all Americans learn about in our history books. It is inspiring to think that U.S. and Filipino service members were shoulder to shoulder on that terrible day 81 years ago. And yet that continues today, where we see Filipino and American service members again, shoulder to shoulder. And I like to think that our grandfathers and grandmothers will think their sacrifice well worth it when they see us all here today, continuing to work together as friends, partners, and allies. The United States and the Philippines share a vision for a free and open Indo-Pacific that is more connected, prosperous, secure, and resilient. Each of us standing shoulder to shoulder, BALIKATAN, help make this vision a reality. Thank you very much, and best wishes for a successful exercise. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, ma'am. At this point, General Centino, Chief of Staff, AFP, will present the memento to the guest of honor and speaker to be assisted by the Deputy Chief of Staff for Education, Training, and Doctrine, J8. A big round of applause, please.
We would like to request our distinguished guests on stage for the group pictorial. Ma'am and sirs, you'll be having two poses. First pose, please link your arms, which is called the friendship way.
Second pose will be the crossing of hands as you also hold the hands of the persons beside you, which is called the handshake way.
Thank you. May I request our principals to have a group pictorial with our attendees. Please stand, everyone.
May we request everyone to please cross your hands left over right. Thank you very much, ma'am and sirs. Once again, we would like to thank Honorable Variado for gracing this ceremony. That concludes the opening ceremony of the Philippines and United States bilateral exercise, BALIKATAN 2023.
We would like to thank you all for your presence. Keep safe, God bless everyone, and mabuhay.
Everyone is invited to partake some refreshments at the Malupig Hall A. Thank you.